Hari Om, everyone. Can you all hear me well online? Okay. Oh. 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 Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां रामो राजमणिः सदा विजयते रामं रमेशं भजे रामेणाभिहता निशाचरचमु रामाय तस्मै नमः रामान्नास्ति परायणं परतरं रामस्य दासोऽस्म्यहम् रामे चित्तलयः सदा भवतु मे भो राम मामुद्धर समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः 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 12th mantra, second khanda. परीक्षलोकान् कर्मचितान् ब्राह्मणः निर्वेदमायान्नास्ति कृतः कृतेन तद्विज्ञानार्थं स गुरुमेवाभिगच्छेत् समित्पाणिः श्रोत्रियं ब्रह्मनिष्ठम्. We were seeing the different stages in which the sadhaka is guided. His first stage was karma ashraya, where he took support in karma. Elaboration was there of karma. Upanishad said there is something more to learn. That was upasana, devotion, along with karma. Then his second stage became upasana ashraya, where his anchor was this meditation practice, devotional meditation practice. Now, same Upanishad comes and says, there is something more to learn. And how will this person go from karma and upasana ashraya to the next stage of Brahma Shraya. That is this mantra, 12th mantra, where unless we are guided to think, not only think, but think deeply about different facets of life, the experiences which are coming our way, we will not be able to see through them such that we go to the next step. That examining carefully, examining deeply is called as pariksha. Inquire or analyze. What should I analyze? Lokan. Look at this world. Analyze not one or two things, this entire universe. But the beauty is, once I inquire about one or two things, I can extend that analysis to everything. All details will be given how to inquire. In Bhashya, we will see that part. Karma chitan means the nature of this world is it is attained by doing anusthana of karma. Anusthana means you have to take certain disciplines, take certain resolves. We have heard the word Nachiketa. So Swami Akhandanandji opens up that word as one who doesn't do chayanam of anything of this world. Nachiketa. Means one who doesn't make world as a goal. That person is called as Nachiketa. Chayanam means to make some resolves, to make sankalpas. So karma chitan, this whole world is product of karma. Unless we take a resolve to do certain action, the result of action is not gained, and world by itself is result of our past actions. Because we have to experience certain things of our past, we are sent to certain parts of the world. And he sees temporariness as underlying theme of this entire universe. All objects, bottom line is, because it is born out of karma, it is impermanent. You include objects, include people, include situations. There is no object which is going to stay forever, no person who is going to stay forever, and no situation which is going to stay the same forever. So if his joy comes by adjusting these three things, vastu, vyakti, paristhiti, adjusting objects, adjusting people, and adjusting situations, even if it is most conducive, his thought process is, this is not permanent. To maintain it, more karma has to be done. But karma by itself, its nature is it is finite. Nirveda mayat, with this kind of thinking, he gets dispassion. Nirveda means he is not interested in hearing about anything more of this world. Vid means to know. Nirveda, when you add the nir upasarga, it becomes vairagya. Na asti akrutah krutena. There is nothing which is, no action which will give me that akruta vastu. By doing some action, I will not get permanent bliss. That is his conclusion. And actions, generally, we have to connect with our life and ask ourselves, what are those actions that I'm doing with the hope that I will be happy? What are those actions that a person might be doing with the hope that this will give me Ananda? Upanishads want to say Ananda is our swaroopa. And it is eternal Ananda, not gained because of some action by doing something. Now, to get clarity about this Ananda, one has to study systematically. Tad vijnanartham sa gurum eva abhigachet. To know that well, one has to go to a teacher. Samit panihi, with the commitment that I have already seen the world. Please don't send me back again. Samit Panihi Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. One who has studied in Sampradaya. And just like you have Japanishta, Taponishta, Yoganishta, there is Brahmanishta, one who is rooted in Brahman. With all this, Shankaracharya says, let us focus on these two words, Pariksha Lokan. Examine this world. So it's as though writing an essay and saying, I analyze this world, this is what I found. So whenever you get turned off by anything in life, we should come back to this Bhashya. Very quickly it will realign us and say what we should be really seeking. If at all something is disappointing, that means you have held on to Anatma or Maya. And he says, anyway, I told you Maya is like that. So if you held on to it and you are feeling that it is like this, he says it is very good, nothing surprising. So let us see now what he has to say about this world. Page number 41. After the mantra. Atha idanim asmat sadhya sadhana रूपात् सर्वस्मात् संसारात् विरक्तस्य परस्यां विद्यायाम् अधिकार प्रदर्शनार्थम् इदम् उच्यते परीक्ष्य यत् एतत् ऋग्वेदादि अपरविद्या विषयं स्वाभाविकी अविद्या काम कर्म दोषवत् पुरुष अनुष्ठेयम् अविद्यादि दोषवन्तम् एव पुरुषं प्रति विहितत्वात् तत् अनुष्ठान कार्य भूताश्च. It's a long sentence. Let us go slow. Small, shorter paragraphs. Atha idanim. Whenever the word atha comes, it means it's a new topic. So until now, what was the topic? Karma and Upasana. 11th mantra was Upasana. Before that, 1st to 10th mantra were Karma, elaboration. If you notice in all Upanishads, they will not hesitate to criticize karma. But you will not find as much critique of Upasana. Although they will say there is more than Upasana, in few places you might find, like Ishavasya Upanishad. But the point is, the benefits of Upasana are really great. Means Upanishads want us to practice these Upasanas. But now we should appreciate who is the sadhaka, who has already gotten the benefits of these two, has a life which is very productive life, not inertia, not in tamoguna, but is in rajas and sattva. Rajas and sattva. Now to go beyond all gunas, this mantra is there. So atha idanim, now a new topic starts. Asmat sadhya sadhana rupat viraktasya. Look at the last word there. He has gotten dispassion from all these things. Which thing? Asmat. Asmat means what we just discussed. What did we just discuss? Karma and Upasana. Now it is easy to understand what is dispassion from karma. What is dispassion from karma? That results are impermanent. karma will give impermanent results, it is not lasting joy. Then somebody might get dispassion from karma. What is the nature of dispassion from upasana? Because asmat word is there. Asmat refers to karma and upasana. So we should not interpret this as dispassion from devotion. Okay, we should understand this as dispassion from jivatva. In any devotional practice also, jivatva is there. I am a person, I might be a good person, but he says even that finitude of being a person, from that he has gotten vairagya. Bhagavan is different from me, that separation from the Lord, from that he has gotten dispassion. Different stutis when we see, we will notice this point, that there is a stage where devotee keeps Bhagavan separate and praises Bhagavan. But then Bhagavan's grace comes in such a way that he wants his oneness with the Lord. So when you say asmat viraktasya, it includes upasana also. From upasana he has gotten vairagya. But when we say upasana vairagya, we should not directly take the literal meaning. He has gotten dispassion from jivatva, parokshatva of Bhagavan, keeping Bhagavan separate. From that he is dispassionate. And that is what he wants to give up, the jivatva. Sadhya sadhana rupat sarvasmat. Not one or two things. From all things he has gotten dispassion because he understands it is sadhya sadhana rupa. It has to be attained somewhere and there are means to attain it. These are the two indicators of karma. Goal of karma is not already attained. It will be attained. And there will be a means to attain it. As long as these two things are there, they will fall under the realm of karma, which means what? It is impermanent. That is the main point. We have nothing, no qualms with karma, okay? The point Shankaracharya is trying to make is, if we have to move to Vedanta, what should be our thinking? Sarvasmat samsarat viraktasya, one who is gotten dispassion from this whole universe, parasyam vidyayam adhikara pradarshanartam idam uchyate. Only that person has the qualifications to study Vedanta. If something of the world is still his priority, he cannot be a true student of Vedanta. Priority in the sense, he has made that as his goal of life. He has made that as his source of joy. As long as lower source of joy is there, higher source is not available. So what is our self-effort? Self-effort is not in self-abidance. Self-effort is to do this vichar. Do this thinking that world is product of karma. Karma is impermanent. That is not what I am seeking. Pariksha means to analyze. What is he analyzing? Yad etat rugvedadi aparavidya vishayam. Whatever was just explained as the topic of aparavidya, lower knowledge, relative knowledge, if you want to use a lower word. Aparavidya, lower knowledge or relative knowledge, which included all the mantras of Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharvaveda, particularly the karma and upasana part that he has understood. What is his understanding of this topic? He says it is born out of ignorance. Swabhaviki avidya. The moment a person says, I have to go to Swarga for happiness, what does it imply? Right now he feels he is not happy. that ignorance about his blissful nature is at the root of all desires. Swabhaviki avidya, that avidya will not stop, allow him to sit quietly. It will push him, kama, desire will be there, it will push him into some action. Avidya kama karma, doshavat purusha anushtanam, anushteyam. Only those who have this avidya kama karma, they are enjoined the practices of going to Swarga, fulfilling desires in a dharmic way. If somebody doesn't have desire, or he has done this vichara, and he says, I'm not seeking these things, then he need not do it. You know, we have this Veda Purva and Veda Anta. Veda Purva means the karma upasana part, which talk about higher worlds and so on. Now, percentage wise, Veda Purva, the previous part of Veda is 96%, and Vedanta is 4%. Now, if you directly apply this proportion, does it mean a person has to spend 96% of life doing Veda Purva and 4% of life doing Vedanta? He says no, 96% is because desires are many. One person did not do every ritual to fulfill all desires. Somebody might have a particular desire. To fulfill that, one ritual is given. Like that, there are many rituals. Whenever we get purity, whenever mind has vairagya, right then he becomes a fit student of Vedanta. That is what is being told here. Only when the ritualistic portion is enjoined. But you should remember here, we are talking about all the desire-prompted rituals. Whatever little worship we do, don't include that over here, because that is not for some Swarga Prapti. That is for purity of mind. What is spoken here is the Agnihotra and all other rituals which were there to go to some higher world. Means better enjoyment here only. Gurudev writes in one place, nowadays who wants to think about higher world? He says, if you can give something higher here, I'm interested. Don't talk about something hereafter and so on. So either way you can understand. Some desire here, only if it is very strong, for that person, the karma kanda portion is enjoined. Avidyadi doshavantam. One who has this dosha. Dosha means desire itself is a dosha. Desire to go to some better place. Purusham prati vihitatvat. For that person alone, these rituals are enjoined. Tad anusthana karya bhutascha. What is this world? World is the result of all the anusthana and the karma that we have done in the past. The moment karma is done, a result has to come. That result will present in the form of different worlds. Now let us continue. Now this is the most important part of the Bhashya. Mark the words carefully. Lokaha ye dakshina uttara marga lakshanaha phalabhutaha ye cha vihita akarana pratishedha atikrama dosha sadhyaha naraka tiryak preta lakshanaha tan etan pariksha pratyaksha anumana agamaihi sarvatah yathatmena avadharya. Only 2 lines. Although it's a long sentence, let's go slow on this. Lokaha. So based on the karmas that a person has done, the previous word was anusthana karya bhutaha, means these karmas which are taken up with sankalpa. I want this particular result. The moment that sankalpa comes, it has to give result. Either in this birth or next birth, whichever life form it is, he has to get that result. So what is the cause of loka? Karma. The cause of this diverse universe is karma. Now Shankaracharya says, let us discuss about nature of loka. What is this world? What is its nature? This is all part of parikshanam. Pariksha lokan is there, right? How to analyze this world, he is showing us now. Dakshina Uttara Marga Lakshana. This world is something where people come and there are two paths to depart. One is Dakshina Marga and Uttara Marga. Phalabhutaha. Phalabhuta means it is not eternal. And if somebody doesn't get moksha, then these are the two paths. The phala of living here and doing several things is either Dakshina Marga exit or Uttara Marga exit. Yecha Vihita Akarana. What is the nature of this world? You have to be very careful that whatever is enjoined, we should not skip it. Vihita Akarana. If you do that, then it will be a dosha. Akarana means skipping. Vihita means what is enjoined. In previous mantra we had seen Agnihotra, if somebody is doing, then he has to follow these auxiliary steps. He has to give charity. Fortnightly he has to do some vows. Thrice a year he has to do something. All those things were there. If he doesn't do it, then what was said? Asaptaman tasya lokan hinasti. 7 worlds get destroyed. You see, that is the nature of karma. It has its own do's and don'ts. Then along with that there is pratishedha. Pratishedha means forbidden actions. So if a person ends up doing that, the results of that forbidden action also will come to him. But if somebody is able to navigate through these two, he is doing what he is supposed to do, and what he is not supposed to do, he is staying away from it. That person is called as Atikrama Dosha Sathya. Atikrama Dosha, I mean that person's name becomes one who has transgressed the dosha. And the result of that is Atikrama Dosha Sadhya. If somebody doesn't do this Atikrama Dosha, means he ends up skipping what he is supposed to do, and forbidden actions he ends up doing it. What kind of worlds does he get? Naraka Tiriyak Preta Lakshanaha. It could be Naraka Loka. It could be the Tiriyak animal world. And Preta Lakshanaha means it could even be Preta. Interesting thing is, entire Brahmanda has emerged from that same Akshara, including Narakaloka. All 14 worlds have emerged from that Akshara only. Because it has emerged from Akshara, Karma Siddhanta is not disturbed. So somebody cannot say, how come a person goes to that loka which is come out from Akshara, even if he does something wrong? He says, why not? If somebody does erroneous actions, Narakaloka is also expression of that Akshara only. But he will have to go to get the results from that. This point came in Bhagavad Gita 7th chapter, where Bhagavan is telling, whole universe is from me. The right and the wrong, everything is from me. And somebody might say, if everything is from God, what is the need to discern between right and wrong? Wrong also is God only, right? So then there is one book, Sadhak Sanjeevani, Ram Sukdashi. He writes, everything is from God. But if we choose the wrong thing, God alone presents as Naraka. Bhagavan alone appears as Naraka. Bhagavan appears as the danda, the punishment to go through that result. So karma has come from same akshara. According to karma, the result is there. Narakatirya preta lakshanaha etan pariksha. Such kind of universe one has to do examining. He says, don't worry about other layers, other parts of universe. Just look at this human world that we are living in. But Bhagavan, when I try to inquire, nothing much comes to mind. If somebody were to tell us, you write 400 words on nature of universe, how much can we write? So Shankaracharya is, okay, I'll give you one framework. This framework you use not only in this world, but even in other worlds you can analyze if you use this framework. What is this framework? Pratyaksha Anumana Agamai. Use Pratyaksha. Pratyaksha means analyze things in your own life. Anumana here means whatever you have analyzed in your life, understand it is the same in everybody's life. Anumana means that you don't know what is going on in other person's life. You say, this object did not give me joy. Maybe this object gave that person joy. He says, no, whatever you have analyzed here, Anumana is, it is the same thing for everybody. And Agamaihi means just like it is in this world, it is the same in other worlds also. Yes. Pratyaksha, Anumana, Upamana. Upamana also you can add. Means through example. Just like you find an example here, you can find same example otherwise also. But just let's focus on these three words. Pratyaksha, Anumana, Agama. Now in Pratyaksha, how should I start analyzing things in my life? Shankaracharya says, first thing, these are said in other places. We are just clubbing it together over here. Whenever I see bhoga, whenever I see joy, right there, every bhoga has some roga also. That is something Bhagavan has made about this universe. You take any bhoga, it might be through any sense organ. Along with that bhoga, there is some limitation also, there is some roga. So what is examining world through Pratyaksha? First becoming aware that it is not only bhoga which is here, but there is some roga also. Means every joy will have some sorrow mixed with it. Every joy will have some sorrow mixed with it. Puja Guruji's example for this is eating a banana with a peel. Little bit sweetness is there, but you feel the crunch of that peel also. Or eating a chocolate with a wrapper. Sanskrit, this is called as dukkha mishritatvam. Dukkha mishritatvam means every joy is mixed with some sorrow. And the uniqueness is, although there is joy and sorrow mixed up, that sorrow cannot cancel the joy. Joy will be there, sorrow will be there, and we have to experience both. If there is some new thing that we have gotten, let's say somebody got a new home, And if there is work-related sorrow, that joy of new home doesn't cancel work-related sorrow. Some parental concern is there. Now that sorrow coming from that source will remain, and this joy also will remain. So this is the first nature of this universe, dukkha mishritatvam. Whatever I see as joy, right there is some sorrow. Socializing, it will give joy. But that person himself feels, it took away my time. After he comes back, he realizes, took away my energy, took away my time, drained my energy and time. So in that sukham, dukkham is there. You move to a new job, new city. There is some excitement about that place. But along with that, previous thing we are missing. That dukkham will be there. So you say, just analyze, have we found something where it is sukham devoid of any dukkham? If not, then he says, note down the first point, dukkha mishritatvam. Wherever I am seeing joy, if I see only joy, he says I am not seeing it correctly. There was a king who had many bards. They would come every morning, they would sing his praises. And that would give him joy, he would give a lot of wealth to them. One day some saint comes to their kingdom, and this king starts meeting that saint. His whole family starts going to that saint. Then slowly they start listening to his teachings. And their mind starts shifting. What is the purpose of life? What we should be striving really in this human birth. And slowly he realizes that this bard is not giving me joy. Every morning he comes, I'm paying him, he is praising me. And his interest goes down. The bard also starts noticing. And he says, Maharaj, what happened? You used to be so happy before when you would sing your praises. Now you are not as excited. He says, I will tell you. There is one room there, you have to go. You first eat something and you come. This bard goes inside. He is made to sit on a chair which has 2 legs. Not 4, just 2. And in front, there is a coal pit. Burning coal is there. He is feeling that flame. And on top, there is one sword hanging. You never know when it will come down. And there is elaborate feast kept in front of him. And the guards are telling, eat quickly, Maharaj is calling. Somehow he put something in his mouth, went out. Maharaj asked, did you eat? He said, how can I eat? I was sitting on that 2-leg chair, coal pit in front, sword hanging on top. He said, this is what that Mahatma has made me realize. 2/4 of my life are already gone. So I'm sitting on a chair with 2 legs. Right now, samsara heat is burning me like that charcoal pit. Time and again I feel that I am bound. And this kala, time is that sword. You never know when it will come. He says, in that, there is no fascination for bhoga. In spite of, see, that praise would have given him so much joy. Now that same praise looks like bondage. That is dukkha mishritatvam. In every sukham, there is some dukkham hidden in it. If we are not seeing it, that is our fault. Now the second one, no matter how much we enjoy, our senses will never tell us this is enough. Mind will never be content with bhoga, which a person thinks I will try to end it by enjoying it. We cannot end desires by enjoying them. And sometimes we feel if this thing did not give us joy, something else will. And in changing objects only, a lot of time is gone. So the second defect is called as atrupti karatva. First one was dukkha mishritatva. Second is atrupti karatva. It will never satiate us. Discontentment will always remain. There is a famous story of Raja Yayati in Mahabharata, where he enjoyed his life, but when Yamadutas came, he said, I have just started, I want more time. And he had several sons. One of them says, I will give you my youth. Like this, he takes several youths. Several sons, they come and give him, but finally he says, desires have not grown old, we have grown old. Mind is still young, and it is trying to douse the fire by adding fuel to it. If we think we will end desires by enjoying them, he says it is like trying to put off a fire by putting more fuel into it. That is atrupti karatva. Sense organs will never get satiated, never say it is enough. Along with that, third thing will happen, where we will start deepening our vasanas. With this kind of bhoga, enjoying of sense objects, more we repeat it, greater is the effort we will have to put to undo it later. So third limitation of sense object is bandha karatva. Bandha karatva means it will bind us. What Shankaracharya expects is we should see the world in this way. That whenever we are interacting with objects, people and situations, he says, look at the sorrow hidden there, dukkha mishritatva. Look at how it will never leave us content. We enjoyed one gathering, the thought is, maybe have next one, maybe have more. Enjoyed some object, thought is, may I have more. That is atrupti karatva. And third is, our impressions for these things are getting stronger and stronger. If world becomes more real to us, that much we are walking away from Brahman. Ramakrishna Paramahansa gives a very simple example, but it hits the point, He says, if I walk more towards east, I am walking further away from the west. Sometimes that is true. But he says, apply this to world and God. If world I am walking more towards, that much further I am walking away from God. He says, Pariksha, look deeply, inquire into all these things through which pramana? Pratyaksha pramana. We are talking only about pratyaksha right now. Pratyaksha means in my own life, I should be able to see these things. Now he says, apply this to every single individual in this universe. Because somebody might feel, I am unhappy because of lack of few things. Somebody else is happy because they have all these things. He says there is no data to show that. One who has more vishaya, that person is more sukhi. In fact, it could be contrary. So just like you have seen the defects, 3 defects in your own life, Shankaracharya says, apply those same things for every individual. Don't have any durasha. Durasha means false hopes. Maybe I could not enjoy this thing well, somebody else is enjoying it well. I have to learn from him how to enjoy. So that will not work. There is one nyaya in Sanskrit called as Sthali Pulaka Nyaya. Sthali Pulaka Nyaya means when you are cooking rice, you don't have to press each grain and see whether it is cooked or not. If one grain is cooked, every grain is cooked. Like that, if defects are there in few objects or even one object, this is Anumana should tell me in every object, it is the same defect in every person's life. It is the same story. Means sense objects have never given permanent joy to anybody. Then third one was Agama Pramana. Agama means Vedas. They will tell us, just like in this world you have analyzed the limitations of sense objects, in other worlds also it is the same story. Yadeva iha tat amutra. In fact, it is greater bondage. If you just think about it, Swarga. In this world only, the temptations which are there, they pull us away from God. If there are exalted temptations like in Swarga, everything is perfect, no sickness, you can eat as much as you want. Imagine the mindset a person will have in Swarga. So the bottom line is Pariksha. How to do Parikshanam? He has given a framework. Look at these 3 defects present in our own life. Extrapolate it to everybody's life. Don't think somebody else is happy, I am unhappy. I don't know how to enjoy this world. This is nothing doing. Everybody has the same story. And in other worlds also, if I become Daksha Prajapati, he also has the same defects. Jealousy is there, anger is there. This much he analyzes says. Sarvataha yathatmena avadharya. Look deeply, look into the nature of things as they are. Now he is in his own mood. Let us see. Lokan samsaragati bhutan avyaktadi sthavarantan vyakrita avyakrita lakshanan vyakrita avyakrita lakshanan bijankuravate itaretara utpatti nimittan aneka anartha sahasra sankulan kadali garbhavat asaran maya marichi udaka gandharva nagara akara sapna jala budbuda phena saman pratikshana pradvamsan. This is still ongoing sentence from that first one. Shankaracharya now gives different examples to explain what he thinks about this world. Examples might look little archaic, or they're very general examples from nature. But it is our homework to see what it implies and to find examples in our life for each one of them. Okay, so we will discuss what it implies. To find examples is up to you. First thing he says, samsara gati bhutan. That this universe is such, if we have to live in it, it has its own samsara that it comes along with it. Samsara gati is unavoidable. What is the vastness of this universe? He doesn't say just the horizon or something. Avyaktadi sthavarantam. Starting from unmanifest all the way until inert objects. Sthavara means inert. So what all things has he covered in Avyaktadi Sthavarantan? He says you make as many distinctions as you want. You create 14 worlds, several Brahmandas. All of that is included in Avyaktadi Sthavarantan. That is the vastness of this universe. We are only familiar with Manushya Loka. He says like this there are 13 other worlds. Manushya Loka is one of the 14 worlds. Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Swaha, Mahaha, Janaha, Tapaha, Satyam. 7 above, 7 below, 6 below. All of that is included in this part of it. Avyaktadi Sthavaranta. Then what is the nature of this world? Vyakruta, Avyakruta, Lakshanan. It is not manifest all the time. There comes a time when it becomes unmanifest, which we call as Pralaya. All names and forms dissolve back into Sat, pure consciousness. Then from that same Akshara, when the time is right, karmas have ripened, jivas have to again get back their karma phalas. Then the creation manifests. This is the traditional viewpoint of how creation manifests and become unmanifest. Now he's coming a little closer. Bijankuravat itaretara utpatti nimittan. He says creation is such that it is interrelated. You cannot pinpoint what came first. Bija ankura, the sprout and the seed. The sprout has come from the seed. But that seed has come again from the sprout only. That sprout became a tree. In that tree you had a small fruit. That fruit, you have a seed. From that seed, again this sprout has come. So this is what came first? Seed came first or sprout came first? So you cannot pinpoint. In the same way, take example of this body. Anything in this creation, example you take as this body. Body is result of karma. Body is result of karma. But you cannot do karma unless you have a body. So karma brought body. Body did more karma. And karma brought body. So he says, what came first? Body came first or karma came first? He says it is interdependent. You cannot pinpoint. Conclusively, you cannot say what came first. People have this question, when did the first karma start? When did I have the first body? It's in Sanatana Dharma, Jiva is anadi, beginningless. You don't have the starting point of it. You cannot establish. Are you avoiding an answer? Upanishads say, our answer is, neither has come. There is only consciousness in which these two are appearing. Neither karma is absolutely real, nor is body real. So instead of trying to solve this problem, ask what is the absolute reality. So he says cause effect will take us to some point, but at a particular point, even that will fall apart. Because in Maya, you cannot have too much of cause effect. Magic show is going on. 2-3 steps you can say how he is doing it. But finally, he is deluding the seer. So, other than removing ignorance, you cannot do too much of cause effect. That is the meaning of this. Bija ankuravat iteretar utpatti nimittan. Aneka anartha sahasra sankulan. He says it is filled with lot of calamities. Anartha means things which I don't want. It is like different thorns which are there. मीराबाई has a bhajan, right? यह संसार कुश और कांकड़ उलझी उलझी मरी जाना है. She says, according to her, Shankaracharya or somebody must have told her, you write an essay about this world. She says this universe is made up of thorns and pebbles. And sometimes when your cloth gets stuck to that thorn, it's very peculiar. If you pull it, it will tear. And some extent has already gotten torn. So carefully you have to remove. You cannot just pull it and go. It says, look at how our mind gets caught up in different situations like that cloth in the thorn. We cannot just pull it and keep going forward. Very carefully we have to disengage from that situation. That is the nature of this world. Aneka anartha sahasra sankulan. It is filled with lot of difficulties. You know, in Gita Dhyanam we have Bhishma Drona Tata Jayadratha Chala. That is this verse. Aneka anartha sankulan. So many points of problems. So many people who can cause these problems. Kadali garbhavat asaran. It is as hollow. Asara means here hollow. Like the stalk of a plantain tree. It looks very nice from outside. But if somebody says, I'll make furniture, you say, okay, keep opening, you'll find stronger wood. You keep opening, there is nothing inside. That stalk itself was whatever you saw from outside. If let's say some friend surprises you by sending a big box, in that another box, but nothing really inside. He says that is this prank of this world. We feel there is something, but really speaking, there is no sara. No sara means its ability to give joy. That is not there. Kadali garbhavat asaran. Maya marichi udaka. Maya marichi means it is created by Maya. It is not absolute. Ishwariya Maya it is. That is what has brought this. Marichi udaka. Marichi udaka means just like the mirage water makes the deer run to quench its thirst. We all will be running in the same way to quench thirst for Ananda, thirst for joy. One person to another person, one object to another object, one situation to another situation. To show each of these points, Shankaracharya is giving these set of examples. What is our homework? To actually see how this is true. Lord Shiva always sits in Kailasha, doesn't want to go anywhere. If at all he goes to Ramakatha of Kakabhushundiji or Kumbhaja Rishi. Parvati asks him, why don't you go? Why, if I call you, why don't you come? He says this Maya Marichi Udaka. When you know it is not there, that joy you are seeking is not there, why go with this false expectation? Uma kahu mein anubhava apana, sata hari bhajana, Jagata Saba Sapana. He says, what is real is God alone. Whatever you see as Jagat, he says that is Swapna. Okay. See some. I get confused when I hear that the world is born from Bhagavan. And also world is a result of desire prompted actions as Jiva. What is the difference between the two? And what desire of Bhagavan led to creation in the first place? We don't say it is desire of Bhagavan. Huh? Desire of Jiva, appropriate condition provided by Bhagavan. In that way. It is just like saying the government makes constitution. Right? It makes constitution to reward the people who are following the rules and to punish those who are breaking the rules. And appropriate places also it will create for correction. So in Bhagwan's creation also, there are places to reward like higher worlds, places to correct like lower worlds. But not stay there all the time. Once the correction is done, he has to come out. So Naraka is not a permanent place in that way. Samsara Jati Bhutan. Where did we see that word? You have to type correctly, otherwise I'll look for the long word. What is it? Samsara Gati Bhutan. You wrote Samsara Jati Bhutan. Now I have to search. Neka Lokan Samsara Gati Bhutan. Means the Gati of every Jiva in this universe is one of these samsara. Nobody can escape samsara. What is that samsara? All of that he is explaining now. Samsara Gati Bhutan. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.